The-
Oh, I
All
feel
right.
complete.
Deja vu for some of you guys,
Yeah.
and completeness for us, Peter. All right.
No,
Uh,
thank God. Thank goodness. I honestly, like, I was getting a little itchy without the
it
the
was getting
music, so
antsy, right? A
I feel
little
better now.
start scratching and stuff. Like, what's going on here? Yeah, I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah, it was
I get
weird.
it, man.
All right, we're back. Hopefully this time for good. Out there, well, on YouTube, you have to re-find us, I guess, right? Because we got a new feed going on now. So
Yeah, we got a new link. We had to.
new
The other
link.
link was gone and out of here. So, all right. So hopefully much fresher now. Hopefully no lagginess and issues with this one. All right, friends. We are pretty much out of time here, so let's just look at some clickers that I think is worth watching. We have Ribbon. We talked about it this
Yeah.
morning. Really in play. Some news behind it. Peter, we have Nvidia here as well, which I think is going to be fun. It's been great the last 3 days. I'm going to have them there. I know Tesla is another one that's going to be also fun to watch. They've been pretty active. Great sell off yesterday, but they continue to hold this level of support here. I'm going to have these three on my list from my end. Peter, what do you have on your end that you're going to be watching this morning?
Tesla had some great movement yesterday, so yeah, I like Tesla. We'll see if it can recover some of what it lost. Still in that daily range. Look at that interesting daily range, right? Where the entire range was traversed yesterday. Started at the top, ended at the bottom. I mean, it could be an inside day today, but still with great movement. So yeah, Tesla is one of the top picks on my list. Like I mentioned, just very briefly, guys, there is a bunch of earnings out there. They're all retail focused. I was talking about Kohl's when we got cut off, KSS. It can sometimes be a mover. They are down this morning as they missed their numbers and cut their guidance by about 7 to 8% for the full year. So that's a big drag down for KSS Coles if you're interested. If you like other earnings, there are a bunch of them out there. Like I said, I hit what I thought were the highlights, being that we're short of time. But there's also Abercrombie and Fitch, ANF. There's Burlington Stores, BURL. Manchester United, which I just find fun. It doesn't trade well, but it seems weird to me that it trades a lot. MANU is that one. Anyways, there's a bunch of those. Go check them out on your own if you're interested. I'm probably going to stick to my usuals, like Carlos mentioned, with Nvidia and Tesla, and then maybe some of these fun ones. I think watching this drone sector, we'll see what it does today. And then, like I mentioned, the downside of it, I'm going to keep an eye on Lockheed Martin, just because, again, is if the drone business is going to go up, Lockheed Martin's jet business might go down. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, they just need to come up with some really expensive missiles that the drones can use, and they'll make that right back. So
And then they're good to
that's
go.
they're good to go. All right, friends, let's get to some levels. Then we do levels. Peter's going to take you through what our moderators are watching this. But let's get to some levels to kind of speed up on time here and see what we can do. As far as my watch, this Rivian, Nvidia, Tesla, and actually Kohl's. Now that you mentioned, I forgot about it, Peter. This one looks very interesting today. Normally, I do love this drop. I like the volume. I am looking forward to the market open. When you're down 20% like this, today's their day to give us anything exciting. So let's go with Rivian on our list this morning. Some positive news for them. 1285 is the high of the pre-market. The low is going right where the high from yesterday was. So don't need to mark that right over here. So you're sums to that. Above market high, we're looking at 1309. So we'll slam a level there. And then above that, we have a really nice area here. 1361 is kind of, we have this little range happening here between 14 and seems to be 1308, right? Which is the highs from a couple of days ago. And right in here, you got plenty of levels. Above that, 1361, we do have 1405. So some really great daily levels here on Rivian. And then towards the bottom, you do have the highs and lows for the last two trading days. So tons of volume, 8 million shares traded. That is a whole lot of fun. Hopefully, we can trace some of that today. Nvidia towards the top, highs and lows for the last two trading days. High of the pre-market this morning is going to be 138.55. We'll slam one there. And then the low of the pre-market, pretty much slamming into the low from yesterday and the previous day close on there. So I don't think you need to be too crazy about that one. Below the low from yesterday and the previous day close today and the low of the pre-market, right? A lot of support happening right at this area. You do have on the daily 132.31, and you also have 134.64. I think once you mark those two towards the bottom, you're pretty set on NVIDIA. A couple of interesting days, right? Broke out to the all-time highs, which is, I want to call it 152.79, almost 153 there, and has been on a bit of a sell-off the last 3 trading days. So very interesting there. It will be in play today again. We're going to be watching this one closely. Here is Tesla. Tesla also a bit of a sell-off yesterday as they try to reach their recent highs. A lot of resistance around this 360 level, as you can see there. So another sell-off for them. They're holding now the previous day close, so they're a little bit in the green. And the low of the pre-market all the way down to 335.26 and the high at 335.21. So those mark those two levels there. But the interesting Tesla here is this area of support that we're holding pretty nicely. You can see here how much support we have. So that is great if we can continue to hold that, or if we are going to lose that, we can get a nice little sell-off, maybe to 229, right? It's the next level on the daily. You also have 321.39. Next on the list and last is going to be Coase. Again, Coase, I think, is interesting today with their news they got going on. I do like their activity this morning in the pre-market. They are a nicey stock for those first 1 or 2 minutes. We might not get an open that you're used to, like we do on the NASDAQ, right? They can have no volume, and then the volume will come in a little bit later. The key with this one is wait for the setup, guys. Love the pre-market 1464. Above that, we do have 1613. Right where the high of the pre-market is at a 1794. You got plenty up here. If you look at it, you have all the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. Now let's go on a weekly, because when is the last time we were hanging down here? Oh wow, it's going to be 2020. So we're breaking 52-week low today, and then we haven't been here. 2020 is going to be 1257 off the weekly and 1077. So man, this is a big hit for them today. Breaking a 52-week low here and breaking some new ground towards the downside, which is not nice. All right, so that's it for as far as my watch list, guys. Rivian, Tesla, and Coase. I see our team is ready with their list. Let's go through what they have this morning.
Yeah, and I should mention that one we didn't talk about was Zoom, ZM. They did a rebranding. They've rebranded themselves to Zoom Communication from, they used to be called Zoom Video Communication. They've dropped the video, which means that they're trying to suggest that they're now not just video. They're doing AI and other things. So this a slight rebranding. I will say, we were using this morning and not impressed. So maybe, do what you want with that. But anyway, Zoom rebranding.
It might not have been Zoom. It might have been YouTube.
Well, maybe. But I'm going to blame who I'm going to blame, damn it. So, fits my narrative.
Somebody. Zoom.
Conspiracy theories. Here we go. We were talking about that earlier. Anyways. All right, guys. Let me tell you what our moderators are watching, because we've got a good list from the mods here. Jared is in first, and he's watching the drone stocks. So that's Xena and UAVS. He's watching quantum stocks, which were the big yesterday. Crypto stocks. He's got big buckets here. And then, of course, SMCI and this RCAT. Interesting. So he's got an interesting list this morning. Thor is going to be watching NVIDIA, Tesla, and, of course, the market indices. Eamon is going to be watching Meta for a potential long. Mike is going to be watching Tesla and NVIDIA. What else we got here? Sorry, I don't have my normal list on the screen. So Nathan's going to be watching Apple, AMD, Amazon, and NVIDIA. Megan, MSTR, Tesla, and SMCI. Avi's got a surprisingly big list, but he's actually listing out all of the Magnificent Seven plus AMD. So he's just seeing if we're paying attention here, but I like that. I got another dad joke for Avi. But anyways, Pierre is going to be watching Tesla, AMD, SMC, and NVIDIA. Lenny's going to be watching NVIDIA, AMD, Tesla, and Coles. Brian, Tesla, AMD, I assume, not AND. AMD, NVIDIA, Google, and Coles. I'm going to be watching my usual 3 with AMD, NVIDIA, and Tesla. And then today, I think I'm going to put an eye on Rivian, Kohl's and Zena, Z-E-N-A. I've got a couple of IPOs and one SPAC to potentially let you know about. I'll tell you if they open. So there you go. That's what our mods are watching. We've got about 6.5 minutes here till the open, so still got time to get ourselves set and ready. Apologize to everybody for the technical issues this morning. They've thrown us all off. There's nothing worse than when you've got a routine and that routine gets broken, and we acknowledge that. So our apologies. But you know what? It's this funny week anyways. Like I mentioned earlier, don't forget about the economic calendar, especially with the markets being closed Thursday. All day Thursday, they're closed, which means this week is a little bit odd. This afternoon, we do have a big economic event with, the minutes for the November FOMC meeting will be released. Again, the market almost certainly will react to that. Just be aware if you're trading at 2 p.m., right? You're going to see that reaction, and I can't tell you which direction it's going to go. I just know that almost always it reacts. I try and avoid absolutes here. There are no absolutes in trading, but usually it will react, so I just don't want anybody caught by surprise. You can take advantage of it, or it might go against you, but either way, be ready. Okay, so that's the big news at 2 o'clock. The release, Jordan, of the minutes from the November FOMC meeting. So that's what's happening at 2. All right, everybody. Hopefully you're figuring out what's on your target list. You're getting ready for this open. Stability is always good, and we've got a lot of that happening in the Bear Bull trading room. So, the room was all fine. Everybody was talking with each other. They were going good. If you want to visit us there, check out bearbulltraders.com. Check out the membership options. You can join us in there, and we'd appreciate it. Do we still have this 1 week deal? We got the 1 week tag here. So,
yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, it's on there.
Okay. Still out there. All right, good. Well, there you go. Check out that 1 week deal if you want. That was my alarm telling me we got 5 minutes to the open. So we're going to switch over soon to our live traders. They're going to take you through their trading at the open. I mean, we all trade live. Carlos and I actually trade live. We're just, our styles are not as exciting at the open as O'Brien and Andrew, I would say. That's fair, right, Carlos?
Yeah.
That's
fair. That's fair.
We trade different.
My trading's a little bit boring.
Just before we go, I want to apologize to everybody. There was something with my link to YouTube. It wasn't YouTube's fault. After I restarted the computer, seems to smooth out, so I'll investigate. But again, sorry guys.
He's taking one for the team there. All right. There you go. Well, appreciate that. Just know, whatever your trading style is at the open, don't emulate anyone else. We were talking about this yesterday in the chat room and saying, you know what, some of the key things you've got to figure out in trading, almost everybody has actually a very simple style. I think John was talking about this, where when you read books, almost every book you'll hear, keep it simple, keep it simple. Like they give you all the stuff that feels and all these complicated theories and approaches and measurements and targets but at the end then they say keep it simple, and you're like, how do I keep it simple with all of this stuff? You really have to parse through the information that makes sense to you and only apply the minimal set that you think you can use to trade. And then the trick is finding the combination of things that works for you and then repeatedly applying that to the market. That's a lot harder done than it is said. But once you figure that out, then your trading will feel simple to you, and it really smooths your approach to the market. I think every trader who's been doing this for a long period of time will tell you, keep it simple, but it takes a lot of complexity to get to the simplicity, right? If that makes any sense. So keep that in mind. If you're going through that process, know it will work out. You got to go through the pain first. That's sort of the universal reality. So with that, guys, I want everybody to be trading smart out there, right? Don't force anything. Don't rush it. I know that throat clearing. That's Brian, if ever I've heard one.
That's Brian.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Something's in your screen that wasn't there before. What's with the big stick? Walk softly and carry a big stick. It looks like there's a pole sticking out from your camera.
Oh, it's my fancy light.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
There it is.
I'm like, Brian's getting ready to whack the computer here if it doesn't go his way.
It looked more.
Like, what are you doing,
more,
Tesla?
Much more aggressive when it's and when it's right in the camera there. So objects in the mirror maybe closer.
Yeah, no, I shifted my camera over because one of my screens blew up, so I had to buy a new one, and then I had to reorient everything. So move my
We can
camera
play
over. I
too.
got to do some more work here. So SMCI dropping.
There you go, Peter.
Okay.
I see that. All right, friends. SMCI,
All right.
before we hop off here, SMCI doing some fun stuff. Someone mentioned this in chat. We couldn't get to it, but they wanted levels. Levels are easy on this one. You do have the highs and lows on there, and it's moving right now, so it should be very interesting. 4 million shares traded, down 2.2. I'm going to add this one to my list as well. So if you guys like that one, take a look at it. It seems to be in play. Had a great day yesterday. Let's see if that can continue. So, all right, Brian, over to you, man. Have a great trading day. We'll talk soon. Oh, I'm off tomorrow,
Okay,
guys. So happy Thanksgiving for those that are going to be celebrating. I'll be back next week, Monday. So again, trade safe and happy holidays to everyone that's celebrating. Take care.
Thank you, Carlos.
Later, Carlos.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. Yeah. So, yeah.
Normally
Tuesday,
I'd sign off
today.
too, but you seem to be running solo. What's happening? Where's
Don't know. I'm not sure.
All right. I'll keep you company. I'm
looks
watching the
like,
open. I want to see what happens here, especially with some of our UAV stocks and Rivian. Rivian is interesting with the announcement of that $6.6 billion government loan to build the factory in Georgia. So that could be interesting. We'll see what happens at the open with that.
So we got 20 seconds here. I'm going to watch KSS, possible rising devil, although I'm not liking the bidding action that's taking it up right now. But we'll see what happens. It's an NYSE stock too, which gives me reason to pause. So let's see what happens here. See what happens.
Coles popping up. All right, let's see. Yeah, let's see what happens.
Watching Coles. I haven't done anything yet. AMD sold off a bit.
No. Waiting for that volume to come in
back
on
up.
Coles.
Yeah.
You can see it's only got 100,000 shares so far. So you got to wait. You'll know when that volume comes in.
I did short some at 15.15. Yeah, NVIDIA's popping. AMD's dropping. Wow, SMC is really dropping. Wow, that was a pop and drop on NVIDIA there. Tesla.
Wow, SMCI, yeah. It's
Okay, so let's just see where Coles goes. I'm hoping selling will start to pick up. A little big bounce back on NVIDIA. Kind of crazy price action here.
all right. There's the volume that we were looking for.
Ooh, big volume there. Okay, now let's see what it does. It's 1520 level is probably where I'm going to bail. Oh, SMCI has been a good short. Dang.
Yeah.
NVIDIA's going.
Coles is stuck at $15 here. Come on, Coles. Drop
still,
to 15.
I'm long some NVIDIA too here, so it's sort of 138.60. Ooh, that wasn't a good drop.
There we go.
Yeah, here we are. I'm still waiting for Coles to come back down.
There, it's dropping now.
Here we go.
Yeah. Taking a partial on Coles. I'm short with you on it. It was a good rising devil. I don't have the same.
Yeah.
I don't have as good an entry as you do, but see if we can break low of day. I'll be taking another partial then.
Yeah, I'll take a bit of a partial here at 86. Yeah, this NVIDIA is crazy. Back to my break even. Back up again. Oh, here we go. Selling. I just sold some because I at 39. I don't like the action on that. It's just crazy. It's craziness. Tesla's breaking out.
There we go.
Wow, AMD is killing it. Getting killed. All right.
Hoping that we get below 1470 here on Coles so I could take another partial. There we go. Come on.
Yeah.
You're so close.
There we go. I just taking some more off here, covering some.
Yeah, me too. Took another partial. I won't be greedy over a penny. That's
happy times. Here we go.
yeah.
There we go.
There.
Oh, look at that. That's nice. Like that. Yeah.
Taking another partial on Coles.
Moi aussi. You understand French? Yeah, that would be I am too.
Ben oui.
Or mais oui. Yeah, nice little rising devil trade on Coles there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Happy with it.
Let's see if we can break through this 139 level now on NVIDIA.
Yeah, 139.
Here we go. Getting up. There's some big orders above here.
Nice.
Really struggling at this 139. Wow. Well, SMCI is kind of bouncing back a bit here.
I just texted Andrew, make sure that he didn't eat any more poison frogs.
I think you lick them, don't you?
I don't know.
Isn't that the that's meniscus on your back? It sounds a little. Yes. I'm going to sell some more NVIDIA. I don't like the fact that it's really not moving up here. It seems like there's a big seller at 139. So not as good a trade as I would have liked to have seen it, or you would have liked to have seen it break out. But I'm getting out of it. I don't like the way it's trading.
Xena got halted on the way down here. Volatility halt. Yeah, it really dropped heavy off the open. So I'm still sitting in this Coles trade. My stop is, my break even happens to be right at the VWAP now, so it's a good coincidence. So if it goes right back up there, I'll just let it stop me out. Otherwise, hoping that we go lower.
I'm glad I got out of NVIDIA because it's now breaking down.
Yeah, it's dropping.
Might
this is a big gap down on Coles. Maybe hard to get more out of this.
Wish it was in. Wish I shorted AMD. Man, what a sell off there. AMD can be pretty tough to trade at the open.
Yeah, that is a big sell off on AMD.
Mike's trading Apple. How's Apple? Let's look at some of these. Apple's at R6. Could be short. Let's go through some of these and see what.
April 2020, we were this low on Coles, so I haven't been down here since. Come on, Coles, drop. I'd like to get another partial 1450. See some volume sitting there. See if we can go grab it.
Sorry, what's the ticker? Coles?
KSS.
KSS.
throwing Brent off. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Let's
Sorry,
see.
just can't see your screen.
Yeah. No. Cool. You get calls at weirdly early times in the morning, Brian, every day. You're on some list somewhere.
I don't know. I'm on somebody's list. Yeah, it's like 6:30 in the morning, and I'm getting calls from people.
Yeah. Every day it seems like you get a spam call at this time.
Not every day, but I don't know.
Not every day. It just feels like it. All right.
No, just feels like it. Once a week for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out where things are going right now. AMD sold off. We got to pop back up on the SPY and the Qs. NVIDIA is still kind of having trouble at that 139 level.
Yeah, NVIDIA's just hanging around here.
Yeah, KSS isn't really dropping much, but it's
no. It's and I'm not seeing a buildup of volume at the 14. There seems to be a lack of interest, which worries me because this could go either way now. So just hanging in here myself.
Exactly.
But
yeah, exactly. That's my concern now. You want to see more breakdown, but it might. We'll see. It's kind of establishing a bit of a range here, trading range.
Yeah.
Oh, there finally NVIDIA. There you go. Broke down some more.
Yeah. Wow. AMD really did have a sell-off today. That's just like all red candles since the open here. Now it just broke 140.
Yeah. Yeah.
AMD is really weak.
Well, it was. Yeah. Well, the funny thing about AMD, it was gapping up pretty significantly and looking like it was going to have a strong open, but obviously wasn't the case.
Psych.
So
tricked you.
Yep. Okay. I am going to get out of the rest of KSS because I just do not like, looks like it's going to come back up a bit here. It's almost looking like it's going to make a move. So out the rest at 1480.78. So that was okay. So good trade on KSS. Not okay trade on NVIDIA. And we'll just wait and see what the future holds. Look at this. See, look at KSS start to come back up now.
Yeah, I'm my break-even point is now above the VWAP, so I'm just holding on here and hope I survive the pullback here, and maybe we'll get another move, but I may not. Xena is still halted, so interesting that they've made the decision. It's not a 5-minute. It's now heading to a 10-minute. Let's see if it reopens. Be 30 seconds if it reopens on the 10-minute mark.
Xena, like the warrior princess?
Like the warrior princess.
Okay.
Z-E-N-A. Sorry, I'll try to remember to call them out here. But here, it's going to reopen in 3 seconds. 2, 1. Isn't that how you spell Xena, the warrior? Oh, no, hers is X, isn't it?
It's with an X.
An X-E-N-A? Yes, okay. So they didn't reopen it on the 10. Oh, no, here it is. That was the 10-minute mark. I got it wrong by 10 seconds. There you go. So it reopened. Oh, my God. Reopened it. Wow, 967. That is a gap down. Yeah, it's not looking good for Xena. There you go, Jesse. There she is looking all badass.
There. Things still pretty pretty choppy right now. Let's see. EMD.
Isn't Xena with a Z? What's the video game that was that Xena? Or was that something?
Xena, the video game?
Wasn't there Zelda?
Yeah, there was.
Zelda.
Zelda.
I was close.
Completely different.
I was close, but like totally wrong. All right. Well,
well, Tesla.
There was a Xena video game.
Here.
Sorry.
Was there?
No worries. NVIDIA is looking weaker. Wow. funny, the Qs are at high of day here. But the semiconductors are really struggling here. Maybe the software is doing better. Maybe.
Anyways, all right. Yeah. Wow.
All right.
Nvidia's really just completely weakened right off here, dropping again.
Yeah,
AMD still not a green candle. Almost 15 minutes into
Nvidia.
the market here. Yeah.
Let's see if we can get on. Looks like I didn't get a fill. I don't know what happened there. No, I didn't get a fill. I'm not short. Dropped too fast, apparently.
Wow.
I'm glad I didn't. Maybe it's...
Xena is halted again. ZENA, not X. Anyways, it looked like it was going to recover off of that low opening, and then it just crashed down to $9 and halted. So yeah, this is not looking good. I noticed UAVS also halted this morning. So all of that is very ugly.
A lot of ugly trading. Just watching Nvidia now, seeing what it's going to do. Seems like we're getting a bit of a bottoming action here.
Mm-hmm. I'm still sitting in my Coles trade. It hasn't come back to my break even yet, but again, it could go either way. I don't know if it's just pausing and then going to go higher. I mean, it is down 19%, so it's reasonable to believe it could make a recovery here this morning. At least some of that, probably not all of it, but some of it. But I am hoping.
I'm shorted Nvidia at 137.62. Shit. Okay, it's not gonna. I thought it was gonna reject there. It's a VWAP kind of trade, but maybe no, we're gonna go to. I'm out of it. That was not a rejection that I was expecting. We got a bit of a rejection there, but just snapped right back up. Buyers came back in on it, so that was.
There you go.
Yeah, AMD is still weak. God.
Yeah.
I guess people are selling AMD to get into Nvidia. Tesla's breaking out.
Yeah. What is Rivian dropped off the open and is stabilized now? So it's just hanging out just below yesterday's close, interestingly.
Tesla broke out of its range there. Can't say that.
It'd be interesting to see what Rivian does over the next little while, again, with the news of that government funding. You'd think if you were them, you're going to be breaking ground as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah, exactly.
To make it more difficult to cancel that loan and that contract. AMD finally looks like it's bottomed here temporarily, and it's finally got a green candle. Yeah, Chris, I mean, I would think that if I was them, I'd be like, get diggers out here immediately. Just start doing something just to show that it's in progress. Make it harder to cancel that. But
I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. I suppose it depends on when the first actual payment comes through, because I don't think Rivian's in any position to front construction costs. Yeah, Lambo, I'm watching Coles. Don't worry about that. I got my eye on KSS here. We'll see if it. I really want it to get to low of day, which would be $14.50. $14.50 is where I'm hoping it'll get to, and then I will take another partial on it. I know you guys are watching a lot of the semis. Like we said, AMD seems to have bottomed. SMCI stabilized here a little bit, just below VWAP. Seems to be setting up a range here. And NVIDIA consolidating, not sure where it's going to go.
NVIDIA's not really, it's not really doing anything. I'm kind of watching it to see what it's going to do. Tesla pulled back after that pop. And it looks like the Qs are breaking out. Interestingly.
Watching Mara. I haven't looked at Mara. Mara did move up off the open. It almost got green, Mara, this morning. Didn't quite, though, did it? Yeah, my buddy AMD is not looking like a healthy stock recently.
There is no buyers there.
And you guys should read about Microsoft. Microsoft's another interesting one that it just it has these strong opens and then sort of weakens over the course of the day. It's having another strong open. Looks pretty good at the moment, but if you look at the daily, it's not like it's been going up. It's really been sort of trending in this range. So relatively quiet, I would say, this morning at the open. It's not unexpected for me. If I look at overall market volumes, we're sitting about 60, 70 to 90% of average volumes. And that's about what I would expect on this shortened holiday type week. Zena's reopened, still at $9.
Interesting.
UAVS
Qs
looks halted. Go ahead. All right. Tunde, nice. You're done. You got, I assume, short on AMD and a long on Amazon. Well done.
Yeah. Nice short on AMD. I really did not, especially with it gapping up like that, really didn't see it taking such a pounding there as soon as they opened up. That was crazy.
Yeah. Sure, had Andrew been here, he would have found a dozen or more trades out there. That's okay. And he would be making fun of me for my Coles trade, but
why?
I don't care.
I thought that was a perfectly acceptable trade we got.
I agree, but that's us, Brian. He would find this very boring. So.
Well, there was one yesterday that I missed. Can't remember what it was. It was a rising devil trade. Worked out way better. Although we're still
yesterday.
It's still looking kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, Coles could break down here some more.
I'm hoping. From your lips to God's ear.
That trade. I am out of that trade, but I will see. AMD still struggling to find a bottom here.
We're seeing a little bit more downside interest here on Coles. I like that. We'll see if it can get down to my target at 1450 so I can take another partial. Got to be patient.
Wow.
Hold. Ooh, yeah. NVIDIA's playing around with people. It was spiking higher for a second, and then it just dropped pretty violently.
I know. I know.
AMD continues to make the lows. Yeah. My hand back on the mouse here, getting ready to see if Coles can get down to my target. It's at 1460 now. That's good. Let's get low a day here. Oh, we're in the 50s. Somebody's persistent. I see these orders sitting exactly at 1450, and they're not budging. So they seem to be convinced that they're going to get hit. And I like the build up below that. I'm seeing orders now at 1445, 1440. Although it's pausing here a little longer than ideal. There we go. Come on. Penny by penny.
I'm just, I've got to get short here on an AMD. It's just really extended, but just shorted at 139. Let's see if we can get some more downside on this. It's really, it's a terrible trade, but there is more orders down here, 138. Actually, I'm gonna cover some here because this is just an awful trade. 138.76. That's almost embarrassing, but I just want to be part of history here. Bit of a 920 trade on SMCI that I kind of missed. Tesla's rolling over. And the Qs took a big drop after trying to break out there.
We're at low of day on Coles, KSS.
Yeah,
I'm not going to be greedy for the sake of a couple of pennies. If I see any sign of a pullback, I'm just going to take my partial. But I'm still holding out, hoping we hit that 1450. It's like...
Come on, AMD, drop some more.
Peter, I got a new gift for you.
Oh,
for Xena.
Doesn't have
Xena.
It's got nothing to do with Scotch.
This is what she's doing to her stockholders.
Excellent. Oh, excellent. There you go. Xena in action. All right, Coles here is KSS 1451, 1452 is the current bid and ask. This is great, right down to the target that I was looking at. Again, waiting on my partial, just waiting to see if we get any sign of a pullback, any move up on the ask, and I'm getting some off here, but otherwise I'm going to keep holding and see if we can get a few more pennies out of it. I've got a good size here, so still hanging in.
You do. Okay, so I'm still in this AMD short. I get maybe some more.
There we go.
Get another fill here at 138.61. Here we go. Keep dropping. Just keep dropping. Just keep dropping.
There we go. 49. Go. Beauty.
KSS really starting to show some weakness. I'm covered a little bit, covered some more AMD. 38.56.
All right, guys. This is the patience Andrew can't show you. Damn it. I still haven't taken my partial because I haven't seen any sign of a pullback. So I'm just milking it, right? Might as well get more out of it if I can. So there you go. Okay, there now it's starting to bounce a little bit, so I took that partial. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Happy with that.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
The old,
I wish I'd had your entry, though, Brian. I didn't quite have the entry that you did, but here's my.
Well, you just you kind of got to commit to the pattern, which is the rising devil pattern. We're case people aren't familiar with this, we're talking about the Rising Devil. It's a stop that is gapping down on news. So, such as KSS this morning, we had this stock gapping down on earnings and trading below the VWAP. That's also important. So you have to be trading below the VWAP, and we're looking for a pop at the open that takes us up to or maybe a little above the VWAP, and that's usually the good place to short it, because quite often after that pop, the stock will start to drop. So,
indeed. The other thing that I look for, I posted an image of my trade so you guys can see, since we don't have our active screen going here. Although, Brent, I'm not sure if we can do that. I could share a screen, but I don't want to mess anything up.
You can share the screen in the chat room.
But the other thing that you'll notice on Coles, okay, well, why don't I share? I can do that. Share a screen in the chat room for our members. Let's share this screen, and we'll put Coles up here. You guys can see what I'm doing here. The other thing that you'll notice that I wait for, because it's part of my written strategy, is whenever it's a NYSE stock, I've got to wait for that volume to come in. So notice on the first candle, right, on KSS, there was no volume. And I said, you'll know when the volume hits. And it was very clear when this volume hit, right? We went from like 100,000 shares to 1 million shares in a matter of seconds. That's when I knew the volume. I wanted to make sure it didn't pop up on me and go, sort of break the strategy. Once it confirmed that it was looking weak, that's when I went short. So you can see my entry here was 1501 is where I got filled. And then I took my partials down to low and then just waited, and it was either going to come back and stop me out or like it did, right? I waited till it got to low of day and I saw a little bit of bounce back, took that partial, and I'm still sitting in with some. We'll see how low we can get. I'll take another partial if I see signs of a pullback. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep holding and let this thing push as low as it's willing to go. So much, sort of different trading style than you might see with Andrew, because I can't handle the rapid pace, to be honest. It's too much for me.
Okay, so, just covering some more AMD at 138, 138.40.
Wow, nice, Brian.
Ooh.
Peter, did those consumer numbers come out at 10?
That's a good question. Did they come out? Wow. Let's see. They should have. 10 a.m. They did. So the Case-Shiller composite number came out. Expected 4.7 increase. Came out at 4.6. So, and then that was earlier, and then the consumer confidence came out pretty much right on target. 111.8, 111.7 was the actual number. So we are right in there. So right on target pretty much. So no big market impact. Doesn't look like that's going to move anything. 10 a.m. candle is absolutely wicky on both the SPY and the Qs. You can see that here on my charts. That's normal, right? You get a little bit of, and that's really just, again, sort of the automated reaction of the trading computers to some of the numbers. But in reality, it's settled right back to where it started, and it can sort of continue its previously scheduled program. So
here we go. AMD still, I'm looking for 138 here. If we can break that, be out of the rest of it. Man, what an ugly chart on AMD.
Yeah, AMD is not looking pretty today. That's
not.
a good short, Brian. You weren't afraid to.
Well, we just got in late, but yeah.
Wow.
So just a little
and there's
bit
orders
left on AMD.
I'm seeing orders on the bid here on Coles continuing to push it down to 1430, 1425. So I'm just sticking in this. If it's going to keep moving lower, I'm happy to just sit and wait. I will take a
Yeah, I
partial
could
if I see any pop back. Like, it
I
feels
could have
extended
I
here.
could have just, I could have just held it and set my stop just below my break even on the rest, I guess.
Yes, you could have.
That one.
You could join. You should have joined me.
Just didn't like how long it stayed in that.
Yeah.
Just didn't like how
And
long
you had
it stayed there.
You had a better entry than I did. I think you were about 15.
Well, yeah, I did
cents,
have more room. Yeah. So let's just take a look at what Coles looks like on the book map here. Yeah, there are lots of orders here down. 14.20, $14, 13.80.
Good. Well,
and they've kind of just showing up here. They're not new orders. They haven't been sitting there for a while. So yeah.
Yeah. See, you can see. Yeah, exactly. Those got put in just a couple minutes ago, eh? Or interesting. Okay. Well, we'll see where we go on this one. It's a very slow mover. Of course, we're moving penny by penny here on Coles.
DMD is finally getting a bit of a bounce here. Finally getting some buying, but I got a feeling that's just people that have been short are covering here.
Tesla looks especially ugly today. Doesn't look.
Yeah, Tesla's not really doing much of anything here. It's just
Rivian moving back up slightly. It's green again.
AMD is sort of squeezing people that have been short all morning. If it does get up to, if it can get to 139 or 140, I should say. If it gets to 140, I might consider a short on it. I'm not sure if it's got the oomph to do that, but let's see if we get a squeeze back up there.
All right, I took another partial on Coles as it's getting a little bit of a punch higher here, so. All right, now I can really just wait on this.
Now you can relax.
Now I can relax completely. Yeah.
Here, 10 to 1, 1 to 10.
1 to 10, yeah. Yeah.
So you got your.
We'll see.
Went down and got. So you went down and got your Colombia pesos, I heard.
I haven't done that yet. Actually, I was intending to do that this
okay.
weekend. That was the plan, but yeah, things got in the way. So with the markets closed Thursday and everything open here in Canada, Brian, that's my plan. I'm heading down Thursday. It's one of my errands I've got on my list.
One of your things to do.
Correct. Yeah, I know you can pay with credit cards for the most part. I figure it'd be good to have just a little bit of cash.
Yeah, you need cash. I mean, if you're
just to pay cabs or something, you know.
Yeah, if you're taking a cab somewhere, you don't want to. You know, a lot of the cabs don't take cash or don't take credit. You know, and it's like $7 or 50,000 pesos or something.
What if late one drunken night I want to eat some street food? I mean, maybe I shouldn't have cash so that I avoid that, because that may not be a good idea. I was waiting for everybody's horrified reaction. When I was in Thailand with my son lived in this village in Thailand, and he's like, I'm like, it was breakfast, and I'm like, I'm really hungry. What are we going to get for breakfast? He's like, there's this guy, great food. And of course, it's like a street vendor that pulls up in front of the school, and he makes these, look like empanadas, but I don't know what they were, but it was just Thailand. So, and Matthew's like, no, like my son, he's like, it's all good. I eat these every day. And I'm like, are you sure? This is exactly the situation I've been told to avoid. No, it's fine, really. What's the meat? He says, just don't ask. But don't worry, it's cooked well.
Make sure.
Like, all right.
Yeah. Make sure it's completely charred on the stick.
Yeah, and it was delicious, and I didn't ever bother asking what it was. Yeah, after some, but don't ask. No, ask me no questions. I tell you no lies.
Yeah. Don't ask, don't tell.
Anyways,
so
I figure I'll get a little bit of cash. Of course, in Colombia, a little bit of cash has a different meaning than just in denomination than it does, in Canada or the US. Like, I'm going to get a little bit of cash, so I'm going to get $800,000 or 800,000
800,000 pesos. Yep.
They actually use the dollar symbol, though. Is what I understand, but they're called pesos.
I don't remember that, but I do remember. I do remember needing to learn the difference between 10,000 pesos and 100,000.
And 100,000, yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean, their biggest coin is a 5,000 peso coin. So yeah, it's not going to take that much. It won't be that big of a stack of bills because you can get 100,000 peso bill easy. That's right. Hey, I was looking for an outfit, Jordan. Maybe I should do that. Get myself a little cravat and.
Okay, what are we going to do?
Then I just have to find Lucy Liu and and I'm all set. And a toupee. I guess so. Yeah, I guess Drew Barrymore. Thank you. I couldn't remember her name for a second.
All right, 10 minutes in 7:10 here, and still holding on to this small amount of AMD, but it's kind of above my break even now. I'm just not sure where it's going to go. I might just get out of the rest of it. Your Coles is still sort of slowly leaking.
Yep. It's back down to a low day, which is nice.
I'm not sure if it's got more downside here. I am going to get out of the rest of it. It might have put in the low of day already. So, wow, NVIDIA is actually starting to look a little weak here.
Well, I haven't heard from Andrew, so I assume that means he's still asleep, whatever is going on.
He's passed away.
That was good news for me.
He was a good man. He was a good man. Like he likes to say. It's he's been. I got to give him credit. He's been good for so long. He was a changed man coming back from his last climb. He was here bright and early every single day. Yeah, it could be, Vic. It could be that yesterday afternoon he just got bored and he jumped on a plane and that completed. As long as he's safe. I do worry about him like a little brother out there sometimes.
What are you worried about, him licking frogs and that kind of stuff?
Well, yeah. I think anybody should be learned about that when he comes home with these stories. It's like,
well, not much. I'm trying to figure out what else to trade here, but everything's kind of SMCI just rolling over a bit here.
Wow, Apple put in an interesting double top earlier with volume, and too early for me to take those double top plays, but that was interesting.
Video looking a little weak. Tesla's really not tradable. AMD. I'm out of AMD. I might even think of going long here. It's kind of looking like it might be starting to, but I'm kind of thinking I'm not just hunting for trades, not really looking for setups. AMD is looking interesting though. But again, nothing's really moving that much. I think we're kind of getting into, we're definitely into the Thanksgiving Day trading week.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which typically is
slower.
Slower, yes. AMD going up. SMC testing low of day.
KSS, yeah, it's popping up here a little bit. We'll see how far it goes. Not seeing any topside orders, but again, it is pretty extended here. It's down over 20%, which is a big move for Coles. Big gap down. So.
Yeah, it may, there we go. Wow, SMC is going to S4 maybe.
Yeah, yesterday's. What is this? 2 days ago high. Yeah, 2 days ago high is coming up, which would be the high of 2 days ago is 34.37. So watch that level.
34.37 is S4 here, so coming down. There is a
range,
big order at 34. Jared's trading SMCI as well, I think.
Probably a good thing you avoided that AMD trade, Brian. It
just
failed to move higher.
It's just nothing's trading very well right now. If you look at NVIDIA, we really haven't done much. Same with Tesla, really not much. SMCI kind of rolled over nicely. That was bounced back here.
Mm-hmm.
What have we got here? Is there anything looking half interesting? We'll go through all of Avi's favorite stocks here. AMD rolled over again. Wow, that was AMD did a R4 to S4 transition. Tesla, we're just literally stuck in sort of mid-range trading range from yesterday. Apple took a big drop after that run up into the first half hour of trading.
Yep.
The Qs are dropping. SPY's at low of day. IWM is now struggling.
AMD is heading back to low of day, it looks like.
Yeah. There's a lot of looking at this. There's a lot of red on the screen right now.
Yep.
Master watch list.
Amazon's the only thing that looks good moving up.
Yeah. Let's see, I haven't gotten to Amazon yet. There we go. Amazon. Yeah. Been using the 9 EMA as on the 2-minute chart as support. It's just starting to break there now. Amazon could be a 920 trade if it gets down to under 206. Say 207, 205, sort of 70 area.
I finished yesterday my typhoid pills. Well, Sunday, but I'm glad to have that done with. According to their medical instruction sheet that came with it, all these warning, here's how you can die taking this sheet. I am the 10% of people that experience stomach problems with the medications. No, it wasn't a dad joke, Jesse. No, I'm just happy to have it done.
Wasn't a dad joke.
SMCI, yeah, it hasn't quite broken down to that level yet, but let's see what AMD does here too. Watching the semis here, SMCI, NVIDIA, and AMD, all interesting and all doing the same thing. NVIDIA is the one that's breaking low of day at the moment.
Yeah.
AMD's trying. And Coles is bouncing back on me a little bit here, but it's okay. I'm just going to leave that. It's either going to stop me out or I'm going to get a new low of day. So,
yeah, the Qs are selling off here. Just took a little bit of a long on Amazon for this bounce here. I'm not sure if we're going to get any.
Teddy Bear Coconut. Oh, what a nice name. Teddy Bear Coconut. Normally, this is the time of day right now when the lightning bolt works best when it works. You need good movement, right? Usually you want price separation from the VWAP, like Amazon is now, for example. And then you need it to push hard through the VWAP. So things are low. If we had a reversal in the market and everything started going higher, like the semis could put in good lightning bolt patterns. But right now I'm not seeing any indication that that's going to happen because I'm not seeing enough, strong price action in either direction. Everything feels pretty lazy. So don't think we're lightning bolting anywhere. We're not bolting anywhere.
So I'm in Amazon at 205.82. So let's. I'm just don't like the way it goes up and drops, but just trying to play a bit of a 920 trade.
All right, fingers crossed for you.
Tesla's coming back up. The Qs are bouncing a bit here. There we go. I like the way Amazon's jumping around here, and it's throwing some big volume and still stalling at 206. Come on, keep going. There's another big volume, 206. At 206 there. What is that?
That is my IPO alert. IPO CGTL is open. Low volume. Doesn't look very interesting yet.
Man,
we'll see.
There's a huge amount of volume that just went through on NVIDIA, and we're not getting a move back up, which not getting a push here. It's not a good sign. I meant there was a big seller right there. So we're back down. I'm getting out of that trade. It's there's somebody who's just sitting there. Wow, look at that. Yeah, you can see this huge volume on Bookmap, like big volume, and we just didn't go. You would have expected it to go back up, but go up from there after a large volume, but a lot of volume that came in. Now look at it, it's come back up. They're really kind of screwing around with it. Nvidia's come
Amazon's
back
not
up.
going very far.
No. It might still bounce. It came down and touched that, and now it actually did touch the 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart.
Yeah.
So this dip right here, and this dip right here was the touch on the 9 EMA, but it still looks a little dicey.
Nvidia's the one thing that got a bounce here. It hit new low of day and then did a 70-cent bounce up here. Yeah, CGTL not that's the IPO that just opened. It's not getting enough volume to meet my conditions for an IPO trade, so nothing going on there.
Tesla looks like it's getting some buying interest.
I do miss the days when you had all these IPOs opening, and they were always great. Get millions of shares.
Yeah,
count on it.
Well, maybe we'll get back to that
someday.
With less regulation.
Someday we will.
Well, maybe next. Yeah, with less late regulation and going back to the Wild West.
Here goes AMD setting a new low of day, 138.
Yeah, crazy. There is not much that I am really interested in trading. AMD, another low day here.
Yeah, you got out of AMD, Brian? I guess you sold the rest of it. Eh?
Yeah, I don't have any trades on right now. Just wondering is there news on AMD? I mean, it was gapping up, and man, today we're slamming.
Peter.
So when
Brian,
we're having,
sorry to interrupt.
Yes, sir.
We're going to have Lenny on in 4 minutes at 10:30. And he's going to talk today about how to read volume in the pullback. So expect that.
Okay.
excellent. Brian, earlier when we were having technical issues, the room requested some dad jokes. So I was telling dad jokes. I saved one for you. What do you call a tiny psychic person who's escaped from a prison?
And got me.
A small medium at large. There you go. Hank and Steve
great.
knew the answer to that. There you go.
This
See,
is,
dad joke. You're supposed to groan at it.
Is this politically correct? Hopefully.
Feels like home, Gigi. Yeah.
Yes,
We talk music all the time. Brian, here's a pseudo musical one. What is George Michael like with his stir fry? You know what George Michael likes to eat with his stir fry?
No.
No? I guess it would be rice.
Trying to think of some of his songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bad? Good. Are you groaning out there? Then I did it. I guess it would be right.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to.
All right. There you go. There's my dad jokes. You're welcome. That's what happens when I'm here. If I'm not making you groan, then...
yesterday was a stellar day to make money, but today is not quite as good. We did get a good trade on Coles.
Yep, I'm still hanging in that trade myself.
Good deal. Oh, and Tesla's off to the races. Tesla's breaking out. This could be a good John trade. John loves those break a high of days. So Tesla is moving up here. You can see a book map. We do have an order at 350. That's a bit out of the money, but it's a bit of a reach from here. But for Tesla, give it a half hour, it could easily be there or less.
Indeed. All right.
It's a tough trade. It was a bit of a tougher day today compared to yesterday. Yesterday was almost like shooting fish in a barrel. Could easily so many good setups and so many great trades. But yeah, like I said, hopefully people got a few people traded AMD because that was something I looked at as it was selling off, and I just was just shocked to see how far that dropped. Tesla's still going here. Wow.
Andrew picked the right day to have a nap.
I suppose. All right, guys, we are going to we're going to wrap things up here as far as trading goes, and John, I believe, is going to jump on and what's that? And we're going to have John come on. He's going to talk about volume. Florida Trader, nice picture there, buddy. It's all in front of all the screens. Oh, there you go. Yeah, John is. I think Johnny is in Tesla. Good for you. All right. So let's flip things over. Brent, are we ready to go to over to John here?
Lenny.
All right.
Lenny.
Oh, it's Lenny. Sorry, Lenny. Okay, my mistake.
Hey, Lenny.
I was thinking John and Brent. Hey. Yeah, so what's volume?
Guys.
All right, Lenny, take it away. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, guys, just speaking about Tesla, right? I think that's also a very interesting stock and price action to start with today. So I'm going to share my screen, and please, Brent, give me the confirmation if you guys can see my screen. Okay.
Lenny, I don't
How
see
to
it.
read them.
Okay. Now I see it.
Now?
Great.
You got it. All right. Okay, so my name is Lenny, Senior P Capital Trading, and today we're gonna speak about volume in the pullback. Okay. First, I want to show you two examples of today, just to introduce the topic, and then I'm gonna show a small presentation about how to read the volume in both the trend and both in the pullback. Right. So to begin with, and I think you guys see my screen, is Tesla. Right? Brian and Peter just discussed this brain Tesla. We see in Tesla, right? So first of all, what is analysis? Volume price analysis is combining candles, the price action, with the volume below it. Right? So the bar chart below, here you can see the transactions, the volume, and above you can see action. And volume price analysis is about the combination, not only assessing the price action, but also assessing the volume to get price. And this could be always part of the bigger analysis, right? It's not only that we're only looking at volume, it's just part of the things that we're seeing. And what do we see here? Well, here the trend starts 10:18, and I hope you guys can see my screen. We see three candles up, candles increasing in size, and the candle increasing in volume. So that means that there's a higher probability that move up is actually strong. It's validated by volume. It's not that the price actually moves and then the volume is just dying off. No, it's actually like it's moving, becoming stronger. So the volume is increasing.
Hey Lenny, sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
I'm getting a lot of choppiness from your audio. Can you do me a favor? Can you log out, then sign back in, and make sure forced audio is on?
Yes.
Do you remember how to enable
Yes,
that
yes.
in vMix?
Yeah.
I'll send you a photo.
Yes. But it's already off, I believe. But I'm
It should be
gonna
on.
log in again. Yes, it's on.
Oh, it's on. Okay.
So you still want me to re-log in?
Yeah, just try to restart it.
Okay, that's good. Hey, Brent.
Okay, you're back.
I'm back. Yeah, force, you mean force stereo, right?
For stereo. Yep.
Yes, it's on. It's
Okay.
marked.
Try sharing your screen again. Sorry about that.
No problem. I'm sharing my screen again. So you guys can see my screen now, correct? So we're ready to continue, Brent?
Yep, go ahead.
All right, so the topic that we're discussing is volume. Volume in both in the trend up and volume in the pullback, like how to read it, right? The price action and the volume. The candles above here is the price action and the candles below is the volume, right? And we could get some information from it. So this example in Tesla, we see like this trend starting, increasing size of candles, increasing volume. Then we see the pullback or a consolidation because the price action is not really moving down. It's more like a consolidation. And we see that the volume in the red candles is clearly lower than in the green candles, right? See like the move up, increasing size of volume, consolidation, low volume, low volume. And each time in the green candles, there's bigger volume. Then we're breaking out and we see increasing volume again. So these are volume signals that indeed, like in the trend, the price action that we're seeing is validated by the volume. Now I want to show another example of KSS. I think many traders looked at KSS today. And what makes this interesting, right? Because, and as said, volume is just one part of the analysis, but we see here price action, market opens, and I don't really like this price action, it's pretty choppy, right? But we see basically like a 5-minute opening range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first candles, first 5 1-minute candles. We see a bottom and a top 5-minute opening range. And then we see a breakdown and a trend. And what do we see in the volume? We see clear volume, right? The volume is clearly bigger and more solid than the volume in the choppy price action. Then we see one pullback candle. It's all the time, all the candles making new lower highs. So each candle has a new low compared with the previous candle, the lower highs, and the low. We see low volume. Then it starts again, bigger volume. Then we see a pullback, two pullback candles with low volume, and we see like a small move further, right? At that point, also gets a little bit tricky because we see also the volume increasing and the candles becoming smaller, and we see the breakdown candle with low volume, but that's also a little bit more advanced. The most important thing is if we want to see like a trend, we want to see confirmed by volume, and we want to see low volume in the pullback. I'm going to share a small presentation that I prepared because I think it's always interesting and always good to show examples and then have it guided by theory. So yes, volume price analysis in pullbacks. So what is the basic structure? It's always the breakout or the trend, pullback, and confirmation, right? This is also what is known as the ABCD setup, right? So you see like first initial move up, then we see a pullback, and then we get some confirmation, right? Or could also be for the short side. We see a breakdown, we get a pullback, and then we get a confirmation from another move down. And this has to be very, and I'm going to show you a few examples. For example, here we see like, as discussed, we see a very strong move up here in Tesla. So you see Tesla 2-minute chart. What do we see? The first range of the first 30 minutes. Then we see a breakout, all higher lows, higher highs. We see clearly solid volume. We see the price action pulling back. We see low volume. And then the price action coming above again, closing at the high with increasing volume. This is what looks great for a move up. So we see a trend or a breakout, we see a pullback, we see low volume, and we see the confirmation. That is the idea. So what is the advantage of entering after pullback? It's because you have some additional confirmation, because if you're just moving on the way up, the price action could also just pull back and stop you out. But if you get like already like the pullback and moving down, moving further up, you have some additional confirmation that the price action actually wants to go there. And you can have like a clearly defined stop loss, because if you wait for the pullback, you can put your stop loss below the pullback. So now let's go to the topic of volume price analysis in pullbacks. The concept is not hard to understand, right? If there's the breakout or breakdown, we want to see bigger volume, and we want to see lower volume in the pullback. But it takes experience to recognize it. So here we see, and I'm only going to use some examples of this month in November. So here we see Tesla. Look at here, that was my entry around 10.16. What do we see? We see a breakout coming above the open price, and we see like solid volume. Then we see a pullback, red candle, we see low volume, and how we also see like the pattern, right? The bearish engulfing sandwich. So enter here, and the price actually moves up. But most important thing is we see solid volume on the way up, and we see low volume in the pullback. That's the volume price analysis in the pullback. Very important, volume price analysis, also in pullbacks. I mean, the topic of volume price analysis is very broad, right? There's many ways of using it, but this where we're focusing today, it's really in pullbacks. And it's always important to understand volume is always assessed relative to the previous volume candles. So we take a look at the volume candles, and if something is happening, we're looking at the volume compared with the candles before. So where we're looking for a relative higher volume in the trend and a relative lower volume in the pullback. So for example, here in Tesla, another Tesla setup for this month, we see the opening range, we see a breakout, we see a lot of volume in the breakout, we get the pullback, we see clearly lower volume, right? Then we're breaking out again, and we see high volume. The volume is getting higher. And how do we know of the first leg up that this is solid volume? Because we compare it with the volume before. So you see like the volume in the range is relative low. We see the breakout trend. We see high volume. We see the pullback. We see low volume. We're breaking out again. See also like a small micro ABCD setup here. And we see solid volume. So that is the volume price analysis. Or this one from NVIDIA in the earnings last week. I took it both long for the 1-minute ORB and for the break of the pre-market high. And I took it short here for the 5-minute ORB. And let's take a focus on this setup short here. At this point, we have a 5-minute opening range, right? 5-minute, the lowest point of the first 5 minutes and the highest point. We see like a strong move down, and here we see the pullback, these two candles in, I believe it's 936, 937. And we see a little bit lower volume compared with the move down. So we see a strong move down, higher volume. We see pullback, low volume, candle closing at the low, and we're making a new low, and I enter here for a quick scalp down. But as always, volume price analysis is always just one part of the whole equation, right? It's not just, hey, we're entering because we see volume signals. Everything has to fall together. Or here in this case, in this NVIDIA trade, Tesla trade, we see a move up, We see firm volume. We see a pullback. We see very low volume in the red candle. We also see it here already, low volume in this pullback. Breakout, higher volumes, or enter for a quick scalp move. So yeah, that was the most important thing. So if you find this interesting, I got a complete course on opening range break strategy available on tradingterminal.com. There's now 50% Black Friday discount. And if you have any question, just send me a mail at lenny@pcapitaltrading.com. Yeah, Brent. So if there are any questions, you can just let me know.
Sure. Yeah. BBT chat, YouTube, ask your questions. Stand by.
All right.
Okay. I'm getting no questions. So I think we can end it here.
Awesome. Well, any questions you guys have, you can always send me a mail, lenny@pcapitaltrading.com. And have a great day. Bye-bye.